I do not believe communism would work.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Well, I'm all ears, Miss Arnold. I mean, you know.
Listen.
See, as Americans, we can chuckle about it, but they're not chuckling behind the wall somewhere.
And in a capitalist society, that I'm under the impression that you see it, believe it, receive it.
Yes.
A wise man once told me, practice the art of receiving.
Yes. A lot of people don't know how to receive. Listen, and as bad as capitalism, I mean, as communism is, so is the poor man under capitalism. Now, let me ask you something. Do you believe that there should be free training for careers for everybody? And is that going to be the success of every individual's right to the pursuit of happiness under capitalism? Like, let's say, if I, like a trade, should individuals be able to wake up and say, hey, I want to do plumbing, I want to do electrical work, and get training to be successful in that field?
Joey, I think that is a very idealistic concept.
Yes.
And, according to research that I've done, there are a limited number of people who actually have skills to do these types of jobs.
Really?
We're like worker ants.
Yes.
There are going to be people that are going to flip hamburgers.
Okay.
There are going to be people that are plumbers.
Yes.
That build houses, that preach, that play musical instruments, that teach our kids in school.
I agree.
So what you're saying is, should it be free for everybody
I'm not
to
saying
go
free.
after the trade they're interested in?
Well, I'm saying that that we have poor people on the street who are poor because they need help and they can't get it. And the same reason that communism doesn't work is the same reason that capitalism is failing people. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something wrong in the sociology here in human beings. I mean, listen, is it wrong for someone who works at McDonald's, $1 billion corporation, to ask for a living wage?
It is absolutely not wrong.
Okay.
But, and you're correct, the poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer. And it doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair. And I'll tell you what, I can't identify with all minority groups. I'm not black.
You're your own minority group.
I'm not Spanish.
Yeah. But you're a single white male, a female, pardon me, who also has a downfall because you are financially challenged in your profession simply because you're a woman. If I were to apply for your job, I would instantly get thousands of dollars more. And that is greed.
True.
What about the prices of real estate? Why are millions of Americans spending paycheck to paycheck on rent?
I think we're getting a little off topic,
okay,
but I agree.
Yeah, well,
I'm one of those. I'm one of those.
Bring it back.
Let's bring it back.
Bring it back.
I think God will provide what we need if there's that condition. We keep close to Him and perform His work well. Money is just energy.
Okay.
Money is not the root of all evil. The root of all evil is what we do with money.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
The love of money. Okay. So at the end of the day, if I spend all of my time worrying about how I'm going to feed my kids, where I'm going to pay my rent, how I'm going to pay my financial aid loans, then I'm taking time that could have been spent, well spent, praising God and being a servant to Him. So being of maximum service to God.
So would you agree that being a servant to God is worth the conflict? Or would you rather have functionalism or conflict?
Interesting question, Joe.
That's what I'm here for. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
And the inequality leads to conflict. It leads to hostility, it leads to dysfunction, and it's going to lead to the downfall of our civilization. This American empire is going to be the shortest lived in history. What a shame.
Well, of course, we can look back to history a few thousand years ago. The Roman Empire is not here. The Grecian Empire is not here. The Persian Empire is not here. And how do you take racism out of somebody's heart? How do you take greed out of somebody's heart? There's billions and billions and billions of people, and it's not getting any better. So what is the solution? Do we fall as a nation? And what rises after the fall?
Well, those are all million-dollar questions. And you did bring up historical societies from the past, empires.
Yeah, gone.
But they lasted thousands of years. America's 300 years.
Well, because America is doing something that the world has never done before. And millions have lost their lives to make this available. If you were to talk to Benjamin Franklin, he would say that this is a test run. Nobody's ever seen anything like this.
Agreed. I totally agree. But let's talk about hegemony for an instant.
Okay.
For a second, right? The influence of a dominant group or culture over others.
Like, how come Africa is one of the oldest countries, yet contributes the least amount of technological advance? Have you ever thought of that? That man in his DNA traces back to the first male and first female in Africa, yet they are so behind in the world.
That's a whole nother topic, Joey.
Okay.
And, you brought it up, but how about their country doesn't believe in birth control? How about they're probably next to China with the population increase, and they're starving. There's no clean water. There's no food. There's a drought. And it's normal for them. Men are still the head of the household, and women are the caregivers, having baby after baby, while the men are going around not only beating their women, having relationships outside the marriage.
So it seems to me, Gina, that the cure for all of this truly is a relationship with God.
Yes, Joe. And I won't say unfortunately. Fortunately, God gives everybody free will, provided you're willing to deal with the consequences. This is not a selfish God. This is a selfless God. God is not responsible for the suffering in the world. It is selfishness and self-centeredness of mankind. Is that normal?
There's no other way to look at it. I agree with you 100%. I mean, you're absolutely right.
How do we get a grip on the world today?
You're absolutely right. I believe that you have convinced me today that the scientific study of human society and social behavior is fixed in the complete knowledge and trust in God to help us be better human beings, because we've discussed capitalism, which is ruined by greed. We've discussed communism, which is ruined and does not work from greed. We've discussed that all men are created equal in potential, which should not be because of greed and the human heart. We've discussed equality and freedom, and which can never really truly be, because the human condition is beyond repair.
Joe, it all depends on the individual. And what we're talking about really is macro sociology. We're examining the relationship on a large scale and the patterns. Let the data tell the story, and the data has been telling the story. It's a large topic, and
I agree.
I hope you would have me back next time.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough time in the week to go through this. Gina, if America falls, where else?
Joe, do you believe in heaven?
I absolutely do.
And I believe in heaven. And I also believe heaven's not that big. And if life knocks you down, you're in the perfect position to pray.
It was a pleasure having you, Miss Arnold.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you
yes,
again.
We'll definitely have you back.
Bye, Joe.
God bless you.